就当它 OK 好了。不 OK 我也没办法。小不 OK 就我也不知道怎么办。我怎么跟你玩的不一样？我怎么会知道哪里跟？好，现在安，我今天音量 OK 吗？音量是可以的吗？告诉我一下哈，你觉得音量大小啊、背景什么的？如果不太行的话，再跟我说。或是其实你没有开声，应该有开麦了。有啊，我看到他有在跳跑跳，太可怕了，我也不知道到底有没有开。OK， 没关系，不管他，我们就来玩吧。这个不影响啊，继续我们上一次的进度。Hello， 大家好，我是范九日，今天我们要继续回到我们 Tangle Tower， 是吧？上一次的进度我们来看一下，清单，这是我们的已经过世的死者，这上面都有写他的详情，那他是怎么死的？这是我们现在要分析的。Fifi 有什么可疑之处吗？
We spoke to your daughter, Fifi. She's some kind of super intelligent scientist. You must be proud of her.
Have you seen this book before? Do you know who it belongs to?
I really thought she was going to say something there.
OK， 我们现阶段得到的新的资讯对他来说，还是没有得到任何的回答。That's OK， 不然我们去别的地方看看吧。石头工厂。
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point, but someone scratched it off. A pointless little stone tower.
I don't know. Might be a good hiding place.
Want to play hide and seek?
I could be persuaded. Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
4个表面。
I'm guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
直到旋转表面，直到4根指针都在正确的位置。什么是正确的位置啊？
Nope.
So moving any of the hands turns the adjacent hands in the opposite direction. It's like cogs on a machine.
I guess that's wrong.
Did you work out what direction each hand needs to be facing? Each one ends with a little hoop. Try looking through the hoop and ignoring the rest.
哦，12，天草安安。我来我的台呢，3、9。
I got it.
聪明
I'm impressed.
，Thank you。
What's in the box?
A little tool thing? Looks like a telescope. But I'm not actually sure what it is.
小镜头，底部有个螺丝，它可以干嘛呢？
You ever see a mushroom that big before?
Not in real life.
副本好像没有，我懂，不然晚一点我们来玩啊。
It's Tangle Tower. Or at least it's the mansion at the base of Tangle Tower. A giant glowing gemstone full of plants.
AKA a greenhouse.
恭喜你达成每日签到任务，那个其实没有太大意义啦，那个只是我会跟你打招呼，就是我才知道你有来这样。
A wooden trunk that opens up into a full desk.
I want one.
Whoa, nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick Grimoire.
A private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Oh, nice. Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya Fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do.
哦，音乐声，游戏声太大。那这样嘞，这样会好一点吗？还是我应该自己来听听看？好一点，所以我的音量应该要再大声一点吗？或是游戏声再小声一点？我们干脆一次把它调好了，你们觉得怎么样？看看啊，那就游戏声在这款游戏感觉比较特别啊，它比较大声。那这样呢？这样会好一点吗？还是我麦克风近一点呢？有，这样好一点。好，遭遇刚刚讲了，我们来看一下你自己的部
It's
分。
not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. 5.5 days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
You really think so?
他迟疑了，他迟疑了，他需要被称赞。
As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers was one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite.
供词
Towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented and decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled, that much was clear, but sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say.
打不开。我们来听听他对其他人的部分。
Considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition, no focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely.
OK， 这是他对其他人的看法。
Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, detective.
哦，我以为你会给我一些，你会给我一些提示啊。
314 cases solved. 314.
被打了一脸的感觉。
Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking.
OK，
A book from the library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that.
算了，先这样，让我们再去其他地方看看。让我们一个一个解锁。这边有什么呢？是菲菲的房间。
I don't know what that drink is, but I bet it's 99% sugar.
哦，我不喜欢喝太甜的东西哦。
I'd read you the ingredients. but there's nothing written on the can.
That's even worse.
It's a magnifying glass. A big one.
How come you don't have one of those?
Why? Because I'm a detective? Should I start smoking a pipe too?
You couldn't pull off a pipe.
It looks like a microscope. A big one.
Can I touch it? I'm not sure this is a microscope.
水平滑动4个放大镜到正确位置。它的正确位置是指什么？ Nope。哦，我好像知道它这个是要干嘛了。先移到最旁边。哪一个最小？这个最小。这个是减。 就是下面对，就是下面图案的部分。
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Sounds like it unlocked.
Yeah, it's built on top of a little metal box. There's a book in here.
一本用旧的书，很像日记，用一个奇怪的金属装置锁着。Okay.
Fifi's got something pinned up here.
What is all this? Who is that?
No idea. Is that supposed to be me? Why do I look so angry?
That's just the face you make when you're thinking. Does make you wonder, though. When did Fifi draw all this?
Who's that?
Not sure.
That's gotta be Flora.
It's Detective Hawkshaw.
Who's that?
Not sure. Who is that?
No idea.
Who is that?
No idea.
好在我们其他还没有遇到的
Did you
人。
notice who isn't on here?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself.
专业窥探，这是什么成就解锁啊？我觉得我们要再多去找找其他人。
A new suspect.
A new suspect.
Don't think you can get out being questioned just because you're a bear.
I'm innocent, I promise.
Save it for the judge.
他们其实蛮闹的。
Homemade posters. This one's about the Pythagoras theorem.
毕氏定理。Ugh.
I've not heard of that band. Are they any good? A pretty ornate window with a great view of the lake.
We're supposed to be looking for clues, not assessing the real estate value.
And over here, you'll see the owners use sheets of paper to block out all that unnecessary natural light. A simple trick, but it really transforms the space. Nice room.
It's a mess, but yeah.
去别的地方找找。Freya 的房间。
That painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
一条胶带粘在上面，边缘用黑墨水画了几条线。我一直很好奇，这个放大镜有什么特殊的用意
Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had a rough couple of days. That painting.
Why?
Maybe
Yeah,
think there's
it's a photograph.
OK，
Drawings taped up on the wall.
What's that one on the left?
Looks like two people standing together in a garden. One of them's holding a red rose.
一幅画画的是一对男女站在花园里，男人拿着一朵红玫瑰。菲菲的画像。
A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate. It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
Even though we're halfway up a tower, someone's been tracking in mud from outside. Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight? Did Freya paint those animals on her ceiling?
They're kind of simplistic.
Maybe she painted them when she was younger. It's Freya's bed. A little bit messy.
It's a perfectly healthy amount of messy.
有点诡异的感觉。我们先看东西吧。
A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand-painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
颜料。这是有关联性的吗？
Nice. A real treasure chest.
How do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked? Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it. What's the deal with that painting on the front?
Not sure. We should check that treasure map too.
这是什么？很远吗？3。
Nothing.
Did you check the treasure map for clues? And what about that painting on the chest itself?
不是的话，看一下哦，它有 它有这一只，然后还要有这一只，还要有这个。不然就是6HC。
There we go.
Perfect. What was in the box?
More wooden models. These are a little different to the one on the desk.
Oh. 类似灰发小孩的绿发小孩的模型，他是不是写错了？灰发女人模型，一个类似红白相间鸟人的模型，宽肩男子的模型。我觉得有点像。
It's a barometer, but it's broken.
I've never seen a barometer that wasn't broken. The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just made of wood. I think it's the actual hull of a ship.
The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just. I think it's the actual hull.
OK，
It's a magic lamp.
我刚刚就在想说，它该不会是神灯吧？
Can we summon the genie?
If we get really stuck, sure. Sir? Can you hear me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
安安你好。我们来看看，他刚刚讲了遭遇，我们来看看说，来说说你自己吧。
So, Felix, what exactly do you, do?
Is it not obvious? I'm an explorer. Explorer / treasure hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
We're talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that. But I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long. I go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the Fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is...
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
Don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
OK， 它是目前我们遇到画风感觉比较不一样的。瓦特伊史利斯，哈？要和那个是什么意思？为什么我觉得我没有 get 到？还是谐音吗？
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here?
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help, but I wish you all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, working on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
Yeah.
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain, as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right. Fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
Thank you for follow。没，我本来想问说是什么样的游戏？解谜游戏？剧情解谜剧情？我想一想哦，剧情式解谜游戏。
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Oh, yes. Been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of three. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know. My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
Oh.
Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that a real thing?
No, I just meant because we both wear, you know, red capes of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard on the grapevine. Supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item. Something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it. Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower.
What？哦，百里安安。OK， 也许我们应该把剩下几件都看完。
Don't think it's locked.
Oh, that means we can
I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
Sorry。
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
Fiona Fellow. We met her. She's one of the suspects. Freya Fellow.
The murder victim.
She's barely related to the main family at all.
Ah，
Pretty.
OK。哦，
Whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
我喜欢这边的音乐。
There's a faded mural on the wall.
When I was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
You still don't know, do you?
No.
There's a faded mural.
When I was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
You still don't know, do you?
No.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty. So I'm guessing nobody.
1 old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry old books.
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem? All right, you got your wish.
Spooky murder mansion?
Spooky murder mansion. Sheet music. It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably why they're on the floor.
Spooky。
Are you a ghost?
Sally! That's rude! Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice.
13年，佩服，真的要非常的有热情。You have been patient.
I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it. argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi, things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer. Three and a half hours of piano practice, soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that.
奶油下午好。哦，对了，现在已经3点半了。OK， 时间要抓紧了呢。
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody? Don't look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano. Is that Fifi's diary? I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
I thought you and Fifi were close friends.
Yeah, we are. It's just Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it.
Straight. 认真吗？哦，那感觉一定很
This is mine.
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy. Why is the glass cracked down one side?
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
No way. Freya took good care of her stuff. Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone? Or signed by anyone?
Someone's being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you.
哇哦，
Hey, that's me. Not a bad likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rosebush.
Is there something wrong with that? That belongs to Flora, I think.
哦，我们得到一些东西。
Freya would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do.
OK，
Is that supposed to be Flora?
Possibly.
Oh, how nice.
how nice。
Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
他在思考什么吗？
What was inside?
Nothing.
哼。OK，
What do you make of this statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah, weird.
OK，
It was my mother's originally.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
嗯，
When I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps. Nothing about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything.
就是有一点反向思考，就会觉得说，如果我当初什么都没有说的话，可能事情不会这样推测，然后大家不会变嫌疑人什么之类的。I don't know.
Did you find that in Fifi's room?
No? Should we have?
No, it's just... It looks like something she'd use, don't you think? I think everybody sees something different.
Did Freya ever tell you what she saw in it?
Not exactly. She said something about it being from a recurring nightmare.
Sorry, but if it was from a nightmare, why would you paint it and leave it in front of your bed?
Maybe she wanted to take control of it. Giving something a physical form can make it easier to deal with. Well, sometimes.
这也是一种想法。啊、
Hard of head, but free of mind. Unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond. Behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied. It's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be.
他好像在念诗哦，我好喜欢这一趴，怎么办？
Between the lips, a silver spoon. A story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart. Unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays. In the center of a maze.
Cool.
With surging tide, the waves are thrown. An entity of all its own. But on its surface you may see, reflected in the waters be, the orchestrator, pale and still, pulling strings, enacting will.
Wow.
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing, with the shifting form of feeling, stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space.
我喜欢他。
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
Oh, Poppy.
It's a metronome for keeping time.
他这
It's ticking.
它跟我习惯的那个调音器不太一样。
Is it a bomb?
Are you serious?
It's supposed to be ticking. Not sure what those symbols are, though.
使用按钮旋转4个节拍器刻度盘至顶部圆环。
I did it. What do I win?
Not bad. What happened?
A little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph. Part of a photograph.
另外一边是谁？粉红衣服的金发少女。
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back. That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires...
This is a vampire who needs firm support. Anything in the wardrobe?
Dresses, mostly. I never realized there are so many shades of black.
Anything in the drawers?
Nothing you need to know about.
听起来像是有女生的内衣。
There's a name for this kind of piano. You know, these ones that stand upright?
直立式钢琴。
Various handmade posters.
What do you think those symbols mean?
Hopefully, nothing. Oh, thank goodness, there are 7 lit candles. Wouldn't want it to be dark in here. Ah, yes, a giant symbol drawn in chalk on the floor. Always a good omen.
It's an eye. It's an octopus.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8. Don't say it.
Sextopus. Gloomy.
But roomy. Empty. Just a bunch of clothes on the floor. Nothing weird about that.
To you. Gloomy.
But roomy.
OK，
A big glass door leads out into a garden.
There's a little mechanism by the handle.
Oh， 划开盖子，然后将图块移动至正确栏位。什么是正确栏位啊？
Nothing. Still locked.
All 4 tiles have a moon symbol.
Those other symbols look like suns. Surely that's something to do with it?
I think it is, but in an abstract kind of way.
难不成要这样吗？
Nope. It's not budging.
Maybe the information we need isn't here.
So where is it?
Somewhere else.
Ah, didn't work.
You know, I think this might be one of a pair.
What? The whole thing?
Yeah, something about those symbols. The duality of the sun and moon, you know?
If you say so.
Ah，
I guess we'll come back later.
我觉得我这个迷题先放置好了，我们先放置着，先去其他地方。哟，我被他吓到了。
Hanging baskets. They're so high up.
To you, maybe.
You're only 2 inches taller than me.
2 inches makes all the difference.
Tools. Used by a gardener. For gardening. Bags of soil.
It's so blue.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic powers.
This one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
一种果树盆栽。
A little chart of, actually, I have no idea what it's about. Kinda reminds me of a periodic table. Kinda reminds me of a periodic table.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
Sally, don't move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right, sorry.
Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitzfellow, the gardener.
Mm-hmm. And why are you so tall?
I don't know.
You work here as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that again, but like condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA, sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No, I'm just the gardener.
哦，空空安安，等一下哦。OK，又开坑，没有这个开坑已经很久了，也没有很久了，昨天、前天一放来，这时候就已经开了。
I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human. We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent. Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes, blue hair, an average of 3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly. I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong? Fifi doesn't like me.
What did you do?
I'm not sure. If you find out, maybe you can let me know. She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind.
等等，红色的颜料，那个血，该不会是那些虫的虫吧？好，我不知道，我突然有一种奇怪的想法。
I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone. She questioned me.
About what?
My work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me. I can tell.
狸猫，你们不是在玩游戏吗？螃蟹说叫台主喝水，有，喝了。
Felix is a contradiction. His loyalties are placed firmly within the realm of materialism, money, property. But his ego relies on an entirely fraudulent self-image, don't you think?
I was just about to say the same thing.
可是我这个没有什么太多，不太会讲太多的话，因为我都是在听他们原本的配音。
Any idea who this is?
No idea. This is a good example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse. It's made with water from the lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gem-stony.
Sometimes. You never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny, inedible fruit?
You look at it.
OK，你要怎么样去处理这些闪亮亮又不能吃的水果呢？观赏它。Nice。
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. That belongs to Poppy.
So why is it up in Flora's tower?
I'm not sure.
You ever seen this before, Fitz?
No, but I don't normally go into Fifi's room.
That's not where we found it.
Oh, I just thought it looks like it belongs to her.
一定要两个人都说这看起来像菲菲的东西，但这我们不是在他的房间里面找到的。
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. How odd.
Fitz, one of these drawings is of you in the rooftop garden, I think, with Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Are we done?
OK，
Paints are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form.
老妈刚刚打电话给我。
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor.
跪在地上，这好像不太一样喽。
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
This could be interesting. It's a little handmade card. Someone's drawn a heart on the front. Inside it says, "To Fitz, from PP." An empty glass and an empty plate.
Looking at it is making me want to cry.
Why?
I don't know. Hello.
Not hidden very well, is it?
Doesn't need to be. It's locked. It's a combination lock, sort of.
重新排列纸片。 所以它会有不同的排法。每一个角应该都是一个，都可能是一个叶子，这样讲。Nope. Nope. 对啊，所以我们现在猜一个。这个应该是有成功啦，吧？对，有。我还差哪一个角没有排过呢？
Nothing.
Maybe if you move the paper around, you'll find a clue.
我想要硬解。
Still locked.
I think the lines drawn on the paper correspond with the shapes on the combination lock.
That was incorrect.
It looks like there are 4 ways. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, but...
There we go.
Perfect. Anything in there?
Yeah, it's wrapped in a cloth. Hold on. Huh, that's kind of ominous.
啊，华丽的铲子。哎呦！
That poor plant.
Looks pretty healthy to me.
Healthy, but sad. I think it would rather be outside.
Doesn't look soft. It's locked, but it leads outside.
I thought we were halfway up a tower.
We are.
What's that thing by the handle?
1、2、3、4。那是要对应那个 Poppy 她房间里面的那个锁。
It made a noise.
I guess that was right. And the door's still locked.
I still feel like we made some sort of progress.
所以我们现在要去 Poppy 房间把那个打开。哇，走好远啊！我的天哪！幸好不是我自己走。开心。
A big glass door leads out into a garden.
There's a little mechanism.
OK， 我刚好看到。
Something happened.
That must be it. Finally, it's open.
Whatever's on the other side better be worth it.
哇，其实还蛮漂亮的。
That's one big dragonfly.
Or one very small dragon.
哈哈 ，funny。
It's a rose bush, growing on a little patch of bluish soil. Apart from a couple of loose petals on one side, the whole thing looks very well cared for.
The roses are bright red, too.
Now, aren't roses normally that color?
Exactly.
It's another little statue, doing a really bad job of hiding in the bushes.
He's playing a lute this time.
He's also wearing headphones.
Well, they're not part of the statue. And they're not headphones. They're earmuffs. Giant stone frog. Love it.
Ah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
4根羽毛。
Trees. On a roof.
In a garden.
In a garden. On a roof. A little pond.
It looks really, really deep. For for some reason. See those metal bars around the edges, too?
Oh, yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
Be careful, we're pretty high up.
Yeah, we're on a roof. More egg statues.
I don't get it. Why eggs?
Well, either they have some special significance, or the sculptor was just really lazy.
What do you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest shape to make. More egg statues.
I don't get
well,
it.
An egg has got to be the... It's so relaxing. I might just stay here.
Oh, shall I go finish the investigation on my own?
That'd be great.
Oh, good. A bridge. I'm glad to know there's a way to get across that tiny, tiny pond.
Not all bridges are about getting across stuff.
你很不浪漫呢。OK， 还剩下2个房间。哇哦，它看起来像一个鸟人。
Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
Judgmental.
My little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
What's with those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh,
They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is. I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
我的饮料。
Sure. Yeah.
是我的错觉，还是我觉得它真的超像一只巨大的鸟人？
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz fellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our 2 families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
为什么我觉得我好像闻到了一股微妙的味道？Rio， 他就留着床上到处跑啊，觉得这还蛮奇怪的。这个现在故事中有个情况，就是 Fizz 跟 Poppy 应该是互相喜欢的，但不知道为什么 他刚刚说他跟 Feast 是未婚夫妻的关系，这正常吗？超级疑惑的啊、非常奇怪的那一种。先把我的手机游戏玩一玩，好，让他继续跑吧。园林签到，恭喜你达成每日签到任务哦！啊，我好像要准备来公布我们3月份的活动了。等我有时间再来处理这件事吧。欢迎大家去看看 FB 粉丝专页有没有更新新的东西，或是Twitch台下面有没有更新啊？这最快了。空空要签到，哎，你不是已经来了吗？要签到什么呢？而且你看我的机器人的时间还没有，它的 CD 时间还没有结束啊。我认识你们也快满1年了耶。对，快满1年了，很快哦。我也觉得时间过得很快。
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there, crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day, watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course. And they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
奶油说马上游戏频道破1000人了，加油哦！哎呀，我们随缘啦，有的话我当然很开心，没有的话也没关系啊。没有，我还是会继续做我喜欢做的东西。
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
我要来听一点八卦了。
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it. Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input. A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
也要来贴心我们同妈妈喝水。我有喝水，我都有喝水。
Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right. I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is in the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
我觉得他已经在讲 Puppy。
How terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
OK。
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it. Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue.
We can get into Penny's room now.
Now, like, right now?
他的房间怎么有一堆鸟？
That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
一不寻常的蓝色。这看不出什么端倪，还有爱心啊哈！
It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds? Nope. They're wooden.
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
“它的规律性是什么？
Nope.
There must be some logic to how the birds are arranged. Something to do with those white lines.
Nothing.
I think the birds are related to each other.
“哦，他加他等于他妈。
I guess that's wrong.
It's a family tree. The colors and eyes combine as they go down the family line. You'll need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
他刚刚说什么？蓝色跟绿色吗？
reset the puzzle.
黄加蓝等于绿。
I guess that's
It's a family tree. You'll need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
我觉得我现在有种脑袋卡住的感觉。You know？ 对。
I got it.
I'm impressed. Did the door open? What's in there?
哦 Penny， 你知道他想要干嘛吗？你看，他说一张撕碎的纸揉成一团，里面包着红色的花瓣，纸上有愤怒和而潦草的字迹。现在我要对付他。花瓣来自生长在屋顶花园的红玫瑰。屋顶花园是 Fitz 跟那个 Puppy 他们中间那个花园。然后想一想 Fitz 跟 Puppy 的关系，再想想 Penny 的跟 Fitz 的关系，不好说呢。
Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them. Penny's books. Mostly.
Anything in there?
Bed sheets.
That's not even remotely suspicious.
A little bedtime reading.
Let's see. Romance novels, detective novels, and
What?
this one appears to be both.
Nice.
A little tea set. Looks recently used.
天哪 ！Okay.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed.
What? Okay. 好，我们可以。
Ever get the feeling you're being watched?
The mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting sentence. Looks like nature invited itself in. Rude.
我有点好奇，我有点想问问他们的想法。
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's, well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good. It's good. Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes, blue hair, an average of 3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly. I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong?
This is yours, Fitz?
Yeah.
Do you use it?
I keep all my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she asked.
A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to.
哦，所以他其实他是那个 PP 应该是指 Penny， 然后后面是他的姓氏，我还以为他是跟 Poppy 喜欢的，原来是我搞错了吗？
Those petals, they,
What?
They're red.
他有东西没有说。
Wait, those are mine, the earmuffs. They went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
No. I wear them while I'm gardening, and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
We found these up in the rooftop garden. Do you know how long they've been there?
No, could have been a long time. We don't ever really clear up the rooftop garden.
Why not?
Nature is unruly. In truth, it prefers to be left alone.
Okay, my friend is playing the Monster Hunter. 虽然我还有一个房间没有去，但是我有点想要看一下那个菲菲她房间的这个人物关系
Phoebe's
图。
got something pinned up here.
What is all this? Looks like Fitz. It's Poppy. That's actually a pretty good drawing.
Is Fifi trying to solve the mystery with math equations?
Maybe. Did you ever try that? Maybe it works.
I think that's supposed to be Felix. That's gotta be Flora.
It's a drawing of Penny.
Who's that?
Not sure. It's Detective Hawkshaw.
这个关系图其实之后会用到。
Did you notice who isn't on here?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself.
OK，我们还差这个人。天文塔。
It's tidier than my desk. Oh, the notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So? Even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
A picture frame.
With no picture. You know, I've always wanted one of those.
A mechanical solar system? What would you do with it?
I would look at it.
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle, sun on the outside. How old is this thing? Nothing.
So there are two ways to move the shadows. Rotate the planets, and rotate the sun and moon.
“我在想，我现在要做到的是，我要把他的那个影子要弄到什么样的程度呢？ 是要我弄什么啊？
I guess that's wrong.
I think you just need to get the shadows to line up with the shape on the base.
OK，
No, that was it.
Nice work. Did you hear that? Something unlocked.
There's a little hatch underneath? What's in there?
A bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
金甲虫，金甲虫，还有编号。这个编号是不是跟温室的那个有关联性？
It's too cloudy to see any stars right now.
It's also daytime.
A Spyglass to the Stars, Volumes 1 to 12.
They're in very good condition.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So quiet, and yet so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could the speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return. Nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the cosmos I say hi.
The day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening. I was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
有问题。
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see. It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I've begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all. That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the Moonlight Garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs. Just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Tangle Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other. It's a bird bath. Is that just rainwater?
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little. Toot, 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 toot.
Please don't do that.
I'm still not sure about this thing.
Should we take another look? Looks like he's playing a semi-grand pedal harp.
You're some kind of harp expert, Sally.
Did you not know? I had a harp when I was a kid. A little handheld one, only 8 strings.
Liar.
It's the truth, I swear.
Let's come back later.
我们现在有烦恼 Penny。我们要继续和 Penny 谈谈。
She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that? Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
午安，午安，饭团午安。晚饭吃什么？等一下看家人想要怎么吃。
She mostly ignores me if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh, you don't need to.
No, no, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it.
搜查鸟舍，所以我一定有东西没有找到。
They're bird cages, but the birds are
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is.
I feel like I'm standing in a giant birdcage. A rather magnificent bush, somewhat cruelly confined to a stone pot.
There's a letter P carved into the side.
A little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
I feel like I'm standing in a giant birdcage.
哦，它出现不一样的提示。
Professor Pointer's a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself. What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
I find her rather embarrassing. Little more than a spoiled child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse. Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite. I'll say this, he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers in secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless. Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Florafella.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky. Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious.
Tedious，他用 tedious 来形容。
Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories. But they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them.
Fine。
These people really are ridiculous, aren't they?
OK， 我的时间也差不多，今天这一集可能就先到这里。对，我们就之后再见喽。好啦，感谢大家今天的收看。我们的 Tangle Tower 什么时候会解完呢？也许是下一次开台的时候 ，I don't know。那我是番茄瑞，我们之后再见。如果你喜欢我们的影片，可以帮我们在 YouTube 影片点个喜欢，然后帮我们订阅我们的 主频道，还有追随我们的 Twitch。有推荐游戏也可以在下方留言，欢迎大家推荐游戏给我哦。那我们之后再见喽，大家再见，拜拜。